All right, what's going on, Brainiacs and you bearded beauties? Welcome back for episode 2 of The Brain and the Beard. I'm Tom, and I'm sitting here with my co-host, The Brain, Marky. Marky, how are we doing on this Victory Monday post 23-16 Jets dub over the Cleveland Browns?
Feeling great. Like you said, it's a Victory Monday. We haven't had too many of them, so we got to enjoy the ones we do have. And, let's get the elephant out of the room here. Mm-hmm. Trevor Lawrence will not be a New York Jet in 2021.
Later, we're getting no blonde Thor-looking hair coming out of the back of our helmet next year. But guess what, guys? I am okay with it. I am fine with the fact that we are not getting Trevor Lawrence. We need to just get over it. We need to be adults about this. We need to move on. And guess what? We're locked in at the 2 seed. So we just need to focus on going into Foxborough next weekend and just beating the brakes off of the New England Patriots, who, guess what? They've ruined my childhood, and they've ruined many Jets, seasons for in the recent past. So guess what? We're going in there playing, some jacked up football.
Why not?
So let's go into Foxborough next weekend and let's all have fun rooting for our Jets to go in there and beat the brakes off of Belichick.
Absolutely. And like we said, Trevor Lawrence will be a Jaguar. We're not going to spend much time on this episode talking about it because it's in the past. And we're not going to spend too much time talking about the second pick because we're going to have all offseason to talk about this, whether it's Wilson, Fields, Sewell, whatever. We're not going to talk about that today. We're going to enjoy this win. And you know what? Like you said, we have something to look forward to now. You know what I mean? Like I in a sense, I was all in on the Lawrence bandwagon, as you could probably tell from the first episode. But
when the Jaguars were scoring and keeping it close yesterday, I could see you teetering over to rooting against us again. And then once they started to get blown out, you started to come back. So I was happy about that.
So that's in the past. Let's focus on this win. Let's talk a little bit about it. There was a ton of bright spots. This is a team that isn't playing like a team that started 0-13. This is a team playing with life,
hot.
Playing with some energy and just. Whether it's, stopping the run or just, moving the ball on offense. So I know, we were locked in during the game talking about it. I know there was some guys that stood out in my eyes, but I want to know the guys that stood out in your eyes, as you call them, your dogs of the day. So with that being said, who's your third dog of the day or your bronze medalist?
So like you said, I got 3 coming in for you today. So my third dog of the day or my bronze medalist dog of the day is going to be Frank Gore. Frank hit the 16,000 rush yard mark yesterday in his career. So I think you have to mention it. You have to talk about that. So
go
he's
Canes.
getting go Canes too, right?
Yeah.
So we're getting that the third dog of the day, the bronze dog of the day is going to be Frank Gore for the career milestone. Maybe not necessarily what he did yesterday, and we wish him a speedy recovery.
We got to pay him that respect. Like this is a big accomplishment. There's only been 2 other players who have done it. Obviously, he's getting the star of the game. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So with that being said, who is your second dog of the day?
Jamison Crowder, number 82, Jamison Crowder. My man was a Swiss Army knife out there yesterday.
Didn't he do?
Threw a dot to your boy Berrios, 43-yard touchdown, another big Canes day yesterday.
Herndon, go Canes.
Another big Canes day yesterday. So Crowder, he had 7 receptions for 92 yards and a touchdown. He threw a 43-yard touchdown, and he also had a rushing, I think he had like a 12-yard rush. So no one has done that since 2001, having over 90 yards receiving, over 40 yards passing, and more than 10 yards rushing.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Is there a QB controversy going into week 17?
Absolutely. I think Jamison Crowder gets a start with his 100% passing yesterday. And that's going to lead me into my number 1 dog of the day. The gold star dog of the day. I could still hear him barking from the field the way he was playing yesterday.
You could say
he was a man.
This is the top dog.
He was off the leash yesterday. The top dog was off the leash, and that was Terrell Basham from the D-line, and the D-line played outstanding yesterday. Terrell Basham, I believe he had 5 tackles. 2 of them were solo. He had 2 forced fumbles, including a strip sack late in the game on Baker, and then he had that 4th and 1. He had that big stop where he forced a fumble. It was a controversial call, but
he made the play.
Rule book, and we won the game off of that, and Basham made an unbelievable play. So he is my dog unleashed. He is my top dog from yesterday's 23-16 win over the Browns.
I think he might be an Ohio Bobcat. Not sure on that, but shout out to any of the Ohio Bobcats out there.
I don't know too many of them, but shout out to them.
Yeah. So, I agree with you. I think all 3 of those guys had great games.
What about you? You got someone?
I got 2 guys. My first one, I guess this would be not my top dog because I would probably pick one of yours, but some guys you didn't mention. Love Jonathan Franklin Myers.
We'll call him the honorable mention dogs.
Yeah. Jonathan Franklin Myers, he's kind of that hybrid DN tackle, just that interior pass rush, just an animal. You know what I mean? He was claimed on waivers right before the start of last season, was on the IR the whole year. I believe he was a 3rd-round pick 3 years ago to the Rams. Had a sack in the Super Bowl on Tom Brady. when he sat out, I think, people started to forget about him, right? Like, he didn't play at all. This year, he's just been, it feels like a man possessed. Like, it might not be there on the stat sheet, but the impact that, he's having on this defense is undeniable. And I truly think, he's an underrated, I'm not going to say cornerstone piece, but a large piece in this defense.
Potential building block.
Yeah, exactly. With that D-line, you got him and Quinnen, just tearing it up, and then you got Foley Fatukasi, just stuffing the run and
fumble recovery, whatever you want to call that yesterday.
Just
not
being
bad.
some dogs on the D line, and you just see the impact these guys had. They had no wide receivers yesterday, so they were tight end oriented and trying to just pound the rock. And our D line just
you could
shut
tell
them out.
They couldn't run and they have two really good running backs, and they could not run the ball.
You have Nick Chubb, who looks like he should be playing in like the 1950s. No gloves, just a thumper, and we just shut them down.
Yeah.
Kareem Hunt, he had that touchdown late, but another guy that was just neutralized by that that run D. Just in general, those are where we have guys stepping up, and I think we really played a great game. And when you're throwing the ball to Austin Hooper 15 times.
Okay, so who's your second dog?
I would say my second dog has to be Bryce Hall. Again, putting out another great performance. Like we mentioned, wide receivers weren't there. Competition might not have been elite, but, he locked down the guy he was assigned to. And that's all you can ask for. And he's just showing to be a guy that you could count on. You know what I mean? A fifth-round rookie out of UVA. He had that gruesome injury. I think he had like a broken or dislocated ankle similar to Dax. And, we didn't see him until later on in the season.
He's came to play for us.
And he's just been balling out, a guy that I love watching. I was pumped we drafted him. And that's my second dog, and I just think those five had great games.
So shout out to the Dawgs, whether you were in that top 3 group or the honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Way to play yesterday, way to come. So I got a couple more takeaways. I know you mentioned the D-line. Here's some notes I had, some takeaways. Our D-line played outstanding yesterday. I believe they had 5. I believe they accounted for 5 sacks. Played out of their minds, and I don't really need to go in more detail. You kind of just spoke to that. Sam Darnold. Sam played decent. If I was going to grade Sam out, I would grade him a B. He didn't do anything to lose us the game, and he did a couple good things that help us win a game.
Threw the 2 touchdowns,
right?
A little open, but we're not going to discount touchdowns in the NFL.
2 touchdowns. They were both wide open, but great finds.
Yeah.
He did have a couple risky passes, but he also had a couple ones where he threaded the needle and made it look really nice. So Sam played decent. I would rate him a B. And then another note I had. Finally, as a Jet fan, trick or gadget plays worked. When is the last time the Jets ran a trick or gadget play that, all right, what was the last time when we ran the flea flicker and Joe Flacco through the pick?
Probably.
Right? So trick or gadget plays worked. And whenever we get Berrios the ball and involved, I know we've talked a lot about Berrios.
He's a gamer.
When he gets involved, I think it does inspire the team and it gives us some juice. So that was really cool and fun to watch.
By the way, post-game vid of him running out on the field.
Nutty.
Electric.
Nutty.
Yeah.
And then...
that's the only blonde locks we need. Forget Trevor.
We don't need Trevor's lock. Well, we're not getting Trevor's locks, so let's just focus on the locks that we have. And then my last note is... Well, not even a note, but you remember the movie Old School?
Yeah.
When Will Ferrell, want to go streaking, right? Well, guess what? The New York Jets, we're going streaking right now. We're on 2, hottest team in the NFL in the past 2 weeks. You can't, at least tied for the hottest team.
Give us the Chiefs.
2 weeks, 2 wins. So no one else is, you can't get 3 wins in 2 weeks. So we're tied for at least the hottest team.
And we're going into New England.
Put us up against anybody right now. So dare I say we're going on a 3-game win streak to end out the season here?
Yeah. Probably might be the longest winning streak ending a season, because besides maybe the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl.
Speak nicely to me.
Yeah.
We're going streaking. We're going into Foxborough. And we're beating the brakes off the Pats next week.
Let's do it.